Welcome to The Conscious Creator. Today we're going to explore one of the most influential books ever written about success, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I'll be sharing the key lessons in my own words and how they connect to manifestation and conscious creation. When people hear that title, they often assume it's only about getting rich in the traditional sense: money, cars, houses, business empires. But Hill's work was never just about dollars in the bank. His real subject was much bigger: the power of the human mind. He believed, and showed through decades of research, that success in any area of life begins not with luck, not with talent, not even with education, but with our thoughts and beliefs. What made Hill's work so fascinating is that he didn't come up with these ideas as theories. He spent more than 20 years interviewing and studying the most successful people of his time, giants of industry and innovation, like Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, Alexander Graham Bell, Theodore Roosevelt, and especially Andrew Carnegie. It was actually Carnegie who gave Hill his mission. He told him, "If you can figure out what all successful people have in common and write it down in a way that anyone can apply, you'll make the greatest contribution to humanity that has ever been made." So Hill devoted his life to that task. Out of thousands of interviews and observations, he distilled what he called the laws of success. Later, he refined those ideas into 13 principles, which became the core of Think and Grow Rich. The book was first published in 1937, nearly 90 years ago, and yet the principles inside it have never stopped influencing people. From business leaders to athletes to artists, and of course, for those of us who are passionate about manifestation and conscious creation. Because when you really look at what Hill discovered, you see it's the very same universal laws we talk about today: desire, belief, imagination, persistence, and the unseen intelligence that shapes reality. So in this video, we're going to walk through Hill's teachings step by step. We'll look at what he actually meant, how he described success, the stories he used to illustrate his ideas, and most importantly, how we can take those lessons into our own lives as conscious creators. And make sure to stay with me until the end, because we'll put all of this together into a practical framework you can start using right away. Let's dive in. Hill believed every achievement begins with desire. But he didn't mean just wanting something in a casual way. He described desire as a burning obsession, so definite and consuming that it becomes part of who you are. One of his most famous examples was a man named Edwin C. Barnes. Barnes had a single desire: to work with Thomas Edison. Not work for him, work with him as a partner. Barnes didn't have money, connections, or even experience. What he did have was a burning desire so strong that Edison said he could see it in his eyes. Eventually, Barnes became Edison's business partner and built a fortune. This is what Hill meant by desire. Not a faint wish, but a fire. Weak desires are like a candle flame. They give off a little light, but they burn out quickly. Strong desires are like a roaring fire. They illuminate, they energize, and they refuse to go out. For us as conscious creators, this sounds very familiar. The universe doesn't respond to vague wishes. "I want more money" is too weak. But when you say, "I am joyfully creating $10,000 a month in income by the end of this year through my business," you've given energy a clear target. Hill encouraged readers to write their desires down in detail: the exact outcome, the timeline, and what they were willing to give in return. And then to read it out loud daily, with emotion, until it sank into the subconscious. So his first lesson is simple but powerful. Know what you want, and want it so clearly and so strongly that it directs everything you think, feel, and do. Desire sets the target, but desire alone isn't enough. Hill said you need faith, absolute belief in yourself and in your vision. By faith, he didn't mean religion. He meant a state of mind that can be built through repetition. You build faith by affirming your desire, visualizing it, speaking about it as if it already exists. Eventually, your subconscious accepts it, and once that happens, your reality begins to shift to match it. Hill gave the example of Thomas Edison. Edison failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb. But his faith in the outcome never wavered. He saw each so-called failure as progress, as simply discovering another way that wouldn't work. Hill wrote that faith is the only known antidote for failure. Without it, desire fizzles out. With it, even obstacles become stepping stones. For us, this is manifestation in action. If you want something but secretly believe it's impossible, your subconscious will block it. Faith bridges that gap. It's the inner certainty that says, this is mine, even if I don't see it yet. To help people build faith, Hill taught the principle of autosuggestion. He explained that the subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between reality and imagination. It accepts whatever we repeat with emotion. That's why affirmations and visualizations, when done consistently, change us from the inside out. Hill told his readers to create a personal statement of their desire, written in the present tense and charged with feeling. By repeating it daily, the subconscious eventually accepts it as fact. Once that happens, Hill said, your mind becomes magnetized. It begins to attract people, opportunities, and ideas that align with your vision. As conscious creators, we know this well. If we don't take control of what enters our subconscious, the world will do it for us, through fear, doubt, and limitation. Autosuggestion is simply the practice of taking back that power, feeding your mind with the reality you choose. Hill called imagination the workshop of the mind. He said that every fortune, every invention, every achievement begins as an idea, first in thought, then in reality. He described two kinds of imagination: synthetic, which combines existing ideas in new ways, and creative, which receives fresh inspiration from what he called infinite intelligence. The people Hill studied all relied on imagination. They saw things that didn't exist yet, and they trusted those visions enough to act on them. For conscious creators, imagination is our main tool. The subconscious can't tell the difference between vividly imagined experiences and real ones. So when you spend time every day picturing your desired reality, feeling it as if it already exists, you are literally rehearsing the future until it becomes the present. Modern neuroscience now backs this up. Visualization lights up the same brain regions as actual experience. Hill didn't have those brain scans in 1937, but he already understood the principle. His point was simple. Don't waste imagination on idle daydreams. Use it deliberately as the workshop where tomorrow is built. Another key lesson Hill uncovered is the power of decision. He noticed that successful people make decisions quickly and change them rarely, while unsuccessful people hesitate, waffle, and change their minds constantly. Decision, he said, is about commitment. The word itself comes from to cut off. When you make a decision, you cut off the other options. You stop drifting. You declare, this is happening. Henry Ford was famous for this. When he decided to produce the Model T, he stuck with it through endless criticism and setbacks. That single decision reshaped history. For us, decision is a creative force. The universe responds to clarity. When you stop saying maybe and start saying yes, energy aligns. Hill also found that persistence was the test of desire. Nearly every great success he studied came only after repeated failure, discouragement, or setback. Edison, again, is the classic example. Thousands of failures before the light bulb. Hill said that most people quit just before success arrives, 3 feet from gold. Persistence isn't about grinding endlessly. It's about staying connected to your desire long enough for it to manifest. For us, it's about holding the vibration, even when the outer evidence isn't there yet. One of Hill's most original ideas was the mastermind. He observed that when people come together with a shared goal, their combined energy creates a kind of third mind, something greater than the sum of its parts. Andrew Carnegie credited his fortune to his mastermind group, a circle of trusted colleagues whose combined knowledge and energy fueled his success. For conscious creators, this means surrounding ourselves with people who lift us, who share belief in our vision, who expand our energy instead of draining it. When we link up with others in alignment, manifestation accelerates. For Hill, the subconscious mind was the bridge to infinite intelligence, that universal source of inspiration, intuition, and creativity. He said the subconscious accepts whatever we plant in it and then connects with infinite intelligence to bring us ideas, guidance, and opportunities. This is why he emphasized feeding the subconscious with desire, faith, and imagination. Once it's aligned, infinite intelligence flows. Those flashes of inspiration, those coincidences, those perfect timing events, Hill saw all of that as proof that we're connected to something greater. As conscious creators, this is exactly how we understand the universe. Our job is to be clear, to believe, to persist. The universe's job is to arrange the how. So how do we take all of this and live it today? Hill gave us the framework, but let's imagine it in daily life. Take money. Instead of vaguely hoping for more, you define it. You write, I am joyfully earning $10,000 per month. You repeat it, you visualize it, you feel it until it's real inside you. You make the decision it's yours. And when setbacks come, because they always do, you persist. Over time, your subconscious accepts it, and infinite intelligence brings opportunities. An idea, a new connection, a door opening you couldn't have planned. Or take health. Instead of saying, I wish I felt better, you declare, I am energized, vibrant, and alive. You imagine yourself running, laughing, living pain-free. You affirm it until your subconscious expects it. Then, one by one, small changes appear. The right book, the right doctor, the motivation to move. Alignment begins to replace struggle. Relationships work the same way. You stop telling yourself there's no one out there. You affirm, I am worthy of love, and love flows to me. You imagine yourself in that relationship not as a fantasy, but as a present experience. And one day you find yourself at the right cafe, meeting someone who feels like you've known them forever. Was it chance? Or was it infinite intelligence answering your desire? And purpose, that creative calling so many of us feel. You imagine the finished work, the book in people's hands, the art on display, the music being heard. You affirm that your work matters. You make the decision to stop waiting and start now. You persist, even when no one is watching. And then inspiration floods in. The missing piece arrives in a dream, the lyric shows up in the shower, the breakthrough happens at just the right moment. That's infinite intelligence at play. Whether it's money, health, relationships, or purpose, the pattern is the same. Desire, faith, imagination, decision, persistence, community, subconscious, infinite intelligence. These aren't abstract principles, they're the building blocks of every creation, big or small. When you practice them consistently, you step into conscious creation at the highest level. You stop drifting through life, you stop reacting to circumstances, and you start shaping reality from the inside out. Let's make this real in a way you can actually live with. Hill didn't want his ideas kept on a shelf, he wanted them lived. So I want to walk you through how this philosophy breathes inside an ordinary day, morning to night, and then stretches across a week and a month. No pressure, no perfection, just rhythm. Imagine your morning starts with 5 quiet minutes before the world gets loud. Not to hustle, not to push, just to align. You sit, breathe, and softly rest your attention on the life you're choosing. You're not begging the universe, you're meeting it halfway. This is where desire gets warm again. You don't have to relive your whole dream every morning. Just touch it. Remind your mind, this is the direction. That's Hill's spirit. Definite, steady, felt. From there, belief needs a little fuel. Not noisy hype, gentle certainty. You can borrow it from your future. Picture a single moment from the day as if it already went well. The call where you spoke calmly and were received. The walk you actually took. The email you finally sent. Feel the body state that matches it. Shoulders a little lower, breath a little slower. That feeling is what the subconscious listens to. Hill would say you're feeding faith through repetition. We'd say you're normalizing your next version. Then you do one simple thing that matches the inner picture. Not 10. 1. Send the note. Book the consult. Lace up your shoes for a short walk, not a heroic workout you'll resent tomorrow. Action becomes your vote for the reality you just rehearsed. This is where imagination and decision meet in the real world. As the day unfolds, this is where persistence shows up in small, unglamorous ways. The first plan falls through? You don't read it as it's not working. You treat it as shaping clay. Adjust the hand, keep the form. The second idea isn't perfect. Rough drafts always look clumsy in the middle. Keep moving. Hill watched people stop right before the turn. His famous 3 feet from gold lesson is really a lesson about interpretation. How you explain the wobble to yourself determines whether you keep walking. Now here's a piece we often overlook. Let yourself be helped. Hill's mastermind principle is practical and mystical at once. Practical, because aligned people lend you courage and ideas. Mystical, because the chemistry of 2 or 3 tuned minds seems to invite a third intelligence into the conversation. So during your week, make one moment sacred, a 20-minute check-in with two others who are also creating on purpose. No venting spirals, just what I'm choosing, where it wobbled, and the next tiny step I'm taking. You'd be amazed how quickly momentum compounds when you're seen. Let's zoom into 4 areas where most of us care deeply: money, health, love, and purpose. And watch how Hill's map quietly steers each one without you having to force it. With money, you may notice the old story wanting the mic. It's hard. There's never enough, not in this economy. You don't fight that story head on. You outgrow it. Hill would have you write a definite desire, and I'd invite you to give it a heartbeat. Not only the number, but the feeling that number represents. Safety, spaciousness, the kindness you can afford for yourself and others. Each morning, spend 60 seconds experiencing that feeling. Not someday, right now. Then choose the smallest congruent action you can complete before lunch. Send one message that could open a door. Share one tiny piece of value publicly. Make the next ask without apologizing for your price. Each act is a stitch. By week's end, you've sewn together real proof. The subconscious sees stitches, not speeches. Health often asks for gentleness more than grit. If your desire is vitality, the identity you practice matters more than the plan you perfect. I'm someone who moves daily is a quieter, stronger decision than I'll do a 90-minute routine forever. 5 minutes of movement keeps a promise. A glass of water before coffee changes a tone. 10 minutes earlier to bed is a vote for a clearer mind tomorrow. And here's the lovely side effect. Once your body feels even a little more alive, belief is easier. You're convincing yourself with experience instead of argument, which is exactly what Hill wanted autosuggestion to become. Not just words, but felt truth. In love, so much begins with the story we tell about our own worthiness. If your desire is a supportive, loving partnership, notice how easily the mind tries to predict the worst. That's not prophecy, that's protection. Thank the part of you that's trying to keep you safe, and then invite it to help you spot alignment instead of danger. All day, collect tiny evidence that you are both loving and lovable. The way you listened well, the message you sent first, the boundary you set kindly. Evidence is how faith gets roots. And if you're in a relationship already, imagine one ordinary evening ending softer than usual. Then make one real choice that leans the evening in that direction. We're not trying to fix a relationship in a day. We're training the field with a new normal. Purpose is the long game that only reveals itself to those who keep showing up. If your desire is to write, paint, coach, build, teach, pick a container you can keep. 15 minutes with the page, 1 sketch a day, 2 outreach notes per week. When you keep showing up, the sixth sense Hill talked about, that brush with infinite intelligence, finds you at your desk. Most breakthroughs arrive disguised as ordinary days that you didn't skip. If doubt spikes, and it will, try this. Name it without merging with it. A wave of fear is here. You don't need to argue with the wave or pretend it's not happening. You let it wash through and you keep your hands on the wheel. Decision isn't the absence of doubt, it's choosing a direction in the presence of it. That single reframe can save a week. I want to give you a simple 7-day rhythm that honors Hill's teachings but feels realistic in daily life. Day 1. Write down one clear desire. Keep it plain and specific. Add a sentence about how it feels to already be living it, because it's the feeling that imprints on the subconscious. Day 2. Spend a minute each morning imagining yourself in that reality. Nothing elaborate, just feel it as true. Then take one small action before lunch that moves you in that direction. Day 3. Repeat the same rhythm as day 2. Imagination in the morning, one small action before lunch. This is how you teach your mind consistency. Day 4. Connect with a mastermind partner or group for 20 minutes. Share what worked, where you stumbled, and the one step you'll take next. Being witnessed multiplies momentum. Day 5. Make a clear decision that clears up stuck energy. Choose the path, commit to the project, stop scattering your focus. Indecision drains more energy than failure ever will. Day 6. Play with imagination. Ask yourself, if this were easy, what would I try next? Jot down the first answer without judgment. Often the subconscious slips wisdom in when you're relaxed. Day 7. Rest on purpose. Give your nervous system a break. Take 5 minutes to reflect. What matched my vision this week? Where did I wobble? What's one gentle tweak for next week? That's it. 7 simple steps that can cycle again and again. Small enough to be lived, strong enough to reshape your reality. And here's a little practice that's almost unfair in how effective it is: the evidence log. Keep a single note on your phone with 1 line per day: ways my new reality is already here. It might be tiny, a compliment, a micro win, a moment you would have spiraled in the past but didn't. This is how faith gets fed without theatrics. You're teaching your mind to notice that the world is cooperating. You'll also run into 2 classic traps Hill warned about in modern clothing. The first is indecision dressed as research. You watch 5 hours of videos comparing tools and call it preparing, but nothing in your life changes. The antidote is embarrassingly simple. Pick the tool you'll actually use and start. The second is over-effort disguised as devotion. You try to do 10 big things in a day, then conclude the method doesn't work when you burn out. The cure is choosing one small thing and doing it daily until it's boring. Boring is the sign the subconscious has accepted it. As you live this way, you'll notice something Hill kept pointing at. The more definite your inner state, the more playful you can be about the outer form. You don't have to micromanage the how. Infinite intelligence is good at its job. Leave little gaps in your schedule for surprises you would never have planned. The text you suddenly feel like sending, the walk that puts you on the street where you bump into someone you needed to meet, the idea that lands when you're not trying. This is co-creation. You tend the roots, the field tends the fruit. If you want a gentle way to close your evenings, try this. Sit for a minute and replay one small scene from the day where you were proud of how you showed up. Let your body feel that pride for a few breaths. Then see one little moment from tomorrow already done. The email sent, the workout finished, the honest conversation begun, and feel the tiny relief it brings. Go to sleep letting your subconscious chew on that. Hill taught that the mind is especially open at night. We might say, set the compass before you dream. And if you'd like a quick 2-minute reset before a call or creative project, here's one you can try. Close your eyes and take 3 slow breaths. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6. As you breathe, bring to mind the desire you're working toward, not as something far away, but as if you're already living it right now. Notice how your body feels when it's true. Maybe your shoulders drop or your chest feels lighter. Now think of one person who will benefit when you succeed, and let yourself feel grateful for them. Finally, ask yourself, what's the very next small step I can take to move closer? Open your eyes and do just that. That tiny sequence braids together Hill's pillars: desire, faith, imagination, decision, service, and action in under 2 minutes. And because Hill loved reminding people that wealth is bigger than money, let me say this out loud. The point of all this isn't to make you grind harder. It's to make you freer. Freer to choose work that feels honest. Freer to take care of your body because you value your life. Freer to love without bargaining with your worth. Freer to create the thing that keeps tapping your shoulder when the house is quiet. Desire is holy when it expands you. Let it. So if you needed permission, take it. You're allowed to want what you want. You're allowed to believe it's on its way. You're allowed to keep going when it's quiet and celebrate when it's loud. And you're allowed to let the universe meet you halfway in ways that look suspiciously like miracles. Because to Hill, and to many of us, that's just what happens when a mind is definite and a heart is steady. Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich isn't just a book about money. It's a book about the laws of the mind and how we can consciously use them to create the life we desire. So I'll leave you with this question. What is your burning desire? And are you willing to hold to it with enough faith, imagination, decision, and persistence that it becomes inevitable? If you'd like to go even deeper, I highly recommend reading Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich for yourself. It's an incredible book, and there's so much wisdom in the original text. I've left a link in the description if you'd like to get your own copy. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this message today. Thank you for joining me here on The Conscious Creator. Remember, you are not just a thinker of thoughts. You are a creator of reality. Keep imagining, keep believing, and keep creating consciously.